I want you to picture for a moment exactly what your life would look like if you were a millionaire. The truth is, you would have a lot of the same concerns, consistently working hard to grow as a person and develop fruitful, loving relationships all around you. Your greatest concern in life would still be your health and the health of those around you. There would be one main difference though, and it's an important one. You would no longer have to worry about money. You would have the freedom to do what you wanted, when you wanted. You would have control. Financial freedom is the freedom to be able to make choices. The choices about what you do with your most precious resource, your time, who you spend it with, and where and what you do with it. I want you to open yourself up as we begin to talk about what it takes to become rich trading. Traders are often very concerned with how much money they can make and how quickly they can make it. And each day and each trading session is approached as almost the improbable or impossible. The reason I want to share this formula with you is because it's very important to have the correct mindset, the mindset of an investor. And it's important to focus on this formula for the bigger picture. And this is going to help you to be able to execute, which is what you need to do in order to achieve your goals. You need to be able to execute. So let's take a look. Starting with a $3,000 balance. How do you get there? How do you achieve your goals? Where are you starting from? If you're starting with just a $3,000 balance today, and you are committing to making for the next 5 years, regularly, yearly, another $3,000 deposit, what is that? Like $260 or so a month. Go ahead and take a look, and the rate of return. Holding Bitcoin, what do you think you could do? What do you think you could achieve yearly? What happens if you use something realistic? What happens if you use something like a 30% return over the next 5 years in Bitcoin? You're looking at taking a total deposit over 5 years, $18,000, and growing your account to $46,000. That's only over a 5-year period, but it's also with a 30% return. I think that I personally expect to achieve over a 70% return annually in Bitcoin over the next, 10 years? Absolutely. So let's take a look at that. Let's make that 10 years, 70%. I think underestimating greatly over there. We'll see. We don't know. I think it's safe. I think it's safe to work out my plan using 70% expected return in Bitcoin over the next 10 years. And then you're taking that $33,000, you're turning it into $2 million. Now, $2 million is comfortable. You could basically buy whatever you want whenever you need it. Really very comfortable. But the thing is, when I first started doing this, I did this with 11 years. It was an 11-year plan with 3 halving events. And if you really want to plan this out correctly, starting today, you could go ahead over the next 11 years, expect to have 3 more halving events. Next one, it's every 210,000 blocks. Next one, estimate 20,024, 20,028, 20,032. But the thing is the bull market happens the year after the halving. So you're going to want to make this a 12-year plan, 70% annual return. And now you're looking, total deposits over those 12 years, $39,000, $3,000 a year. You're committing to this plan, to your investment plan. And then you're looking at, $5 million if we hit our expected 70%. Anything could happen. Understand your risk and what your risk is before you make any investment, and do not invest any more than you could afford to lose. But make sure you make calculated risks. Is this a calculated risk? Now, if there was just an 85% annual return in Bitcoin over the next 12 years, you'd be looking at something, $15 million. That's from here on up. You go on borderline ridiculous for a 12-year plan. But 70%, 12 years, next 3 halvings. You're starting today. $5 million is rich. $2 million, you're definitely comfortable, no question about that. But $5 million, I would say that it's a great plan to have in place. I think it's foundational, fundamental, that anyone beginning before anything else should have this plan in place. And then you could go ahead and leverage different investments. CTM, what's going on, everyone? Happy Taco Tuesday. I hope you're all well and doing great. Looking forward to today's session. We're going to throw up the pace a little bit. We're going to start off looking at charts across all markets, and then we're going to ultimately end up over here, this beautiful work and I'm going to talk about and add to it, and we're just going to refine it. I love the way that this is presented. Two things to be watching over here, because we are always have to be aware of our risk to the downside. This is one thing that I could have done significantly better coming into the fourth quarter of 2021. Highly focused on the upside, emphasizing the upside all the time, even though we were able to spend Thursday and Friday, December 4th and 5th, or 3rd and 4th in CTM only, preparing ourselves as we were getting ready for a massive technical breakdown. I think leading up to that breakdown, we should have always been talking about and watching out for our risk to the downside, and that could be improved. There's a big difference between, as you got close to the technical breakdown, emphasizing it before it happened, allowing those within here to be prepared, and then, throughout our regular analysts, making sure that that was always discussed, right? So always room for improvement. So what is our risk right now? People right now, some might be saying that, oh, by the way, let me just pose this question. In the past bear markets on Bitcoin, did we see capitulation before final capitulation? Obviously, the answer to that is no. We only saw one capitulation. Many still await capitulation. Some think we already saw it. We really don't know. We're going in with the mindset like this could potentially have been capitulation over here. Maybe, maybe not. What I'm worried about, or what I'm looking at, is where is the next big technical breakdown? We know 53,000 was a big technical breakdown, and we were prepared. We were very prepared for that. We also know 35,000 was a big technical breakdown, and we were very prepared for that. Where's the next one? And you can tell by my tone that I'm not exactly certain, but you could also understand that I really want to know. So a couple of things to look at, and you can see this trend line over here. We're looking on a log chart, and you can see connecting the June 2019 high to that March 2021 high. And that's the prime trend line. Touching off the March lows, we could see that we did spike down into that during that either final capitulation or mini capitulation that took place just a couple of weeks ago on the 12th of May. That is one area or potential breakdown that would be a big technical breakdown. We could view that also from a different lens, and that's viewing this on linear. And I could say that, well, that breakdown might be something like over here, and there's a little bit of a different level. That's coming in right now around just below, let's call it 25,500. Why this one up here is coming up a little bit higher. It's coming in around 27,000. Do not know which is correct. I am watching both of them. I am spending a lot of time trying to figure out what that next big technical breakdown may look like, just in case we reach it. And again, your thoughts are so valued. If anyone has any opinion on that, I would like to know. This is an interesting view. This is just Bitcoin inverted. The reason I bring it to your attention right now is because if this breaks, this could get very ugly very quickly. And there you go. That's just another, let's say, vantage point of seeing that we got to watch out for a risk. And you could see that from this view over here, if you were to break out over here out of this ascending triangle, that generally leads to a big move. And that could very much happen, only this move would not be to the upside. This move would be to the downside, because that's where that price chart was inverted. It just helps to see it from this view, at least for myself, something to be aware of. And then, of course, we have this trend line over here from the high, again, to that April high, and a breakdown of that. That should send Bitcoin up as well. Now, here again, this is also giving pretty good awareness to potentially where we could see that breakdown. Where my mouse is right now, I think that's the same line that we have over here on this one log scale. So I'm going to bring it is the same line right over there. That's pointing to somewhere around 26,500 right now, even a little bit higher potentially. Andrew has been going ahead and really helping putting everything together, the course outline. We're going to go ahead and start adding content, polishing it off. Tomorrow, I have two different things going on. Tomorrow we have the first presentation recording of someone who's been within CTM for a couple of years, is very busy running their full-time business, wants to see what's going on with CTM 2.0, how they could catch up. I'm going to start doing a tutorial on how they could catch up as quickly as possible. It's going to be really helpful for a lot of people. And then also tomorrow as well, I'll be doing the same thing, but I'll be doing that with Brad. And Brad, obviously, someone that I would consider has a lot of technical ability. It'll be a much different conversation. So we'll have someone that I'll just call it like someone that's a beginner. How do they get caught up to what we're doing as quickly as possible? And then how does someone with a more of a background get caught up to what we're doing as soon as possible? So I'm looking forward to the development and implementation of both those things.